Hi everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, and in a few places, good morning, wherever you're watching this from. It's Parenting with the Father live yet again. And today we have a very interesting topic, which I'll be introducing soon, with an equally interesting guest. So, how's your evening been? If you're watching this video later, and maybe you're watching the replay, just send us in the chat, tell us how your day was, and if you're getting any value from watching this content. So, meanwhile, I will try to get more people to come in. I will try to wait a bit for others to come in, but at the same time, let me give you a minute or two to get settled while my guest also signs on in. Today's topic is Help Me to Let Go. Intrigued? Keep watching. Finally, I can see you. Great.
I guess
And
although,
just the time when our guests started arriving.
yeah. So sorry about that.
No, I'm not worried. I know that the grace of God is here. He's going to
Yes,
keep us moving. So I
definitely.
don't worry. I just stay focused and we do what we need to do.
Yes.
So welcome, Onye
Thank you.
Maoke.
Thank
Onye
you.
Maokeke, right? Yeah. Great by Grace, thank you for being so patient. Nice to have you here. So before I introduce my guest, I'm just going to do what we typically do here, which is say hello to everyone, welcome everyone. We are here today to discuss a topic from this book, Parenting with the Father. It's a book I wrote with about 30 prayers. Today we're on number 20, but not because we've done 20 IG lives, no, because this used to be in a closed group, but we brought it to Instagram. And so we wanted to share it with the world. We didn't want to keep it a secret. And today's topic is Help Me to Let Go. This one I love because parents, we find it hard letting go, right? Like we really do. Okay, so that we don't waste too much time, I'm just going to read the prayer, read the guide, and then open the floor to our amazing guest, who, by the way, is AMAKA-VIRTUE NATHANIEL. So, help me to let go. Dear Father, help me to always remember that my children are not mine, but yours. Help me to remember, too, that they are only with me for a while. Help me to understand that as they grow, they will need to test their wings, and I need to understand, accept, and guide this process. Help me to know when and how to, help me to know when and to what extent to let go. Help me to understand that this is a necessary part of growth for both my child and I. Help me to overcome my fears and instincts to be overly protective and allow them make their own decisions sometimes, so that in the end, they will grow into strong, capable, and independent adults you created them to be. Amen. And
Amen.
the anchor verse is, therefore, shall a man leave his father and mother and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Genesis 2:24. And then the points, the notes, the guide. Dear parents, always remember that the goal of parenting is to raise well-rounded children who are capable of forging their own path independent of us. The irony is, the better we are at this job, the sooner your child will be ready to leave the nest and spread their wings. Even when children are not ready to leave home yet, they will keep testing their boundaries, and we will need to be patient, understanding, yet firm when necessary. We also need to be in control and proactive. Read, learn, discuss, and pray about the stage your child is at and the next stage. Set the boundaries ahead as much as possible and have conversations explaining the whys to your children. Let your children learn to make more decisions and take more responsibility as they grow. Let go of the parental strings a little at a time as they grow. It not only prepares them for the future, it prepares you too. Points to ponder. In what ways are you deliberately beginning to let go? and I leave it to you. So, Amaka,
Oh,
this one is a very interesting one.
very, very
I wrote this
interesting.
book, but as I was reading it, I was feeling it. I was like, I wrote those words. Am I practicing those things?
Exactly.
We're trying.
Exactly. We'll take it bit by bit, you
So,
know. It's not easy for us to let go. Yeah. Especially for parents that have children that are probably in the university or in boarding house. Okay, I'll take for instance my younger brother when he was to go to boarding house. I saw the way my mom was crying. Like for me, my mom didn't allow me to go to a boarding house because she could not let go of me. And my mom was a bother. She went to a boarding house during her secondary school age.
mm,
But she just told me, "See,
mm.
I can't let you go. I'm the first daughter, the
Oh,
first child." So she was like, "I can't let you go because it will be so hard on me." So I watched my mom crying like a baby when my younger brother was to go to boarding house. Trust me, he didn't last there. Yes, she was always going every 2 weeks to check on him. Like at some point, I was like, I thought you finally allowed him to go to boarding house. So why go almost every 2 weeks to check on him? He's not a baby. Allow him. So, but parents, we need to understand that um, in as much as we have given our children wings to fly via the parenting style that we have incubated in them, we also need to allow them to fly with that wing. Very
very, very,
important.
very true.
Yes, because parents sometimes we have actually cut off the wings that we're meant to allow our children fly with. So
Mm.
that's what the problem is. So it is parents so attached to their children or to their child that they find it difficult to allow that child to fly.
Mm.
When I see nursing mothers these days and I see the way their babies are so glued to them, they don't allow a third party carry them. And I'm like, do you think this is bonding? Really? This is love. Is this your definition of what love is? My child loves me and all of that. I'll tell you what, when I had my twin, okay, I think my baby, when I had after my twin, I had another baby. I had to go back to business because I had the twin under 9 months again or thereabouts. Okay, a year and 3 months, I had my baby. So I hadn't worked, I hadn't done business, I hadn't done anything. I felt stuck, I felt tired, I felt like, is this what it is? So after 2 months, I had my baby. I just told my mom, "Hello, everybody, I'm going back to business. I can't continue like this. You see this baby, she'll be fine. When she's hungry, feed her. When she's done eating, place her on her cot. She will just be fine." I believe that children, they tend to fall to whatever it is that will present to them. If you, as a parent, are saying, "Oh, I can't let my child go. He's too young. He's too," you have to prepare your child first before you let that child go.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mm-hmm.
is a work of preparation that we as parents, a lot of us are not ready to do that work. You cannot send your child to a boarding house without first preparing your child for boarding school because it's a different world entirely. So
Mm.
we as parents must first put our structures and systems in place, and our parenting style must go with our value and our vision. Incubate that into our children. Make them understand that, see, there is no lion out there to eat you up. The only lion, the only lion that will eat you up has been crushed. Yes, build their confidence,
Hmm. Let me ask one
build their
question. So,
yeah.
are you saying that for parents who don't send their children to boarding school, then they don't need to worry about letting go? Because I can
No,
give
that's
you
not
some scenarios. I would
okay.
say, for example, my children don't go to boarding school. I have three in secondary school, and they're all day students. But every day, I find that I'm having to let go of the child that I raised and begin to embrace the adult that is forming in my before my very eyes.
Exactly.
because I find that my children, even when they are little, so God blessed me with 4 very independent children. So
Mm.
my last
Mm.
born is 10, but even as little as when he was about 4, 5, right?
Mm.
Time to give him a bath, he will tell you, no, I can do it by myself. He will be so upset until we reach the compromise where, okay, you know what, we will bathe you at night. That's when we'll do all the scrubbing. Then in the morning, even if you just pour water and misses
No,
some parts, we can. And he was so happy. So if
mm.
you're telling that kind of, if you are the parent that doesn't let go, and
Mm.
your 5-year-old is already ready to let go of you, again,
Mm.
because we said if you do it well, if you raise capable children,
Exactly.
they are willing to, start testing their wings at very young ages. But the
Exactly.
problem is you have to decide. I think the difficult thing with parenting is
To
deciding
decide.
what, yes, the
Yes.
decision, which one is a good, see birds, they nurse
Mm.
their eggs hatch,
Yes.
the bird comes out, baby bird comes out. They carry the baby bird to the edge of the nest and they throw you out.
You're
If you
gone.
if they see that you are really about to fall, they fly down and catch you. But if you
Exactly.
just do like this, so imagine what that's like for that baby. That baby will just be saying, which kind of life is this?
Mm.
Where am I going? What is going
Mm.
on? But the
Mm.
mother is there to catch you at the
Exactly.
end.
Mm.
You know,
Mm.
so I think we should be a bit more bird-like in our parenting.
Mm. True.
Let
True.
our children
True.
be able to fly, give
And
them
allow
room to spread those wings, and let them
exactly.
stretch those wings until the wing muscles develop. But
Mm.
always be at the base in case they make mistakes, because they will make mistakes.
They
They
will.
will
They will.
make
Definitely.
mistakes. Yeah.
Definitely. Definitely.
So,
I
yeah.
usually tell my
Okay. So
children.
back to you. Sorry, I just wanted to put that in.
Okay, so it's not just about boarding house though. I'll tell you what, my daughter started learning hair making at age 8, one of the twin.
Mm.
And I remember taking her to the place to register her. The first place I went to, the woman was like, the coach was like, no, she's too young. How old is she? And she looks smallish in stature. So you can just summarize her to be 6 when she was 8. And she was like, how old is she? I think she's 8. And like, she's too young to start learning how to make hair. I said,
Mm.
really? Okay. And she has a daughter of about 8 years with me, and her daughter doesn't know how to make hair. So I took her to another hair salon, to another coach entirely. That was, and she too said the same thing. She said, she's young, she's too young. And I
Mm.
laughed. I said, how old is your daughter? She said her daughter is 9. She will clock 10 in 2 weeks. And I said, your daughter, does she know how to make hair? She said, no. How can she start making hair? She can't make hair. I said, well, just ask her, what can my daughter do? She asked my daughter said she can braid, she can twist, she can braid, but her weaving is not so good. He said, really? So show me what you can do. And she showed her, and she was wild. She was like, do another one. And she showed her, and she was like, are you for real? I told her, I said, how can you be a hairstylist and your daughter of 9 doesn't know how to weave hair? Like she doesn't touch hair. That is it about letting go. We are afraid, most of us parents, we are afraid to let our children go.
But why are we afraid though? Because I'll give you an example. Certain things we did. Think of yourself as an 8 or 9-year-old. There were a lot of things you were able to do because your parents just let you figure it out for yourself.
At
But I
8 or 9, sorry to interrupt you, I wasn't doing nothing. My parents were scared.
okay,
Yes,
so your parents were like,
very,
oh,
very. See, my parents were scared up to the point of even after secondary school, university days, they did not want me to leave the vicinity of Lagos to go to another university. Just stay in our confinement. Because one of the things that got my parents scared was because when I was young, I was kidnapped from my school.
ah, so
Yes,
that's the
from
thing.
school.
There's
Yes,
usually an underlying fear. There
yes.
usually
So
is.
yes. So I was kidnapped, and I don't know how the person did that because the school there's a pass for you to pick any child. So I don't know how the woman did it. I can remember everything that happened. I think that was in even in nursery school, but I could remember the pictures of everything that played out and all of that and all of that. And where they took me to, and the man was like, "You can't use somebody like this. Her head, you can't use it. Take her back. Take her back."
Wow.
And he took me somewhere
Wow.
to, yes, a busy road and dumped me there. Yes.
Wow.
So over 18 hours or so, they were here to
Wow.
see me. Yeah. So we had to. My parents said, I was in my nursery school. I was in nursery school. Yes,
Wow.
nursery. Yes.
Wow.
I think I'm about to get into grade one or so. Yes, I was in my nursery
About
school. But
5,
that
6,
picture
7.
left a trauma. Yes, yes, about that age. That picture left a trauma in me. I was even scared of going out and all of that. So,
No, so it's understandable. And I think for your parents, their own fear is something that we could see, right? That you were
exactly.
kidnapped as a child. So of course, every time you go out, they will probably have that memory of will you come back? They will relieve
Mm,
that trauma. But I think for
mm,
other parents, for the average parents, there are fears that parents experience that they don't even realize that they experience them. So what do I
true.
mean? Why is it that what are you so afraid of? And sometimes for parents, you will find out that it has nothing to do with the child.
Exactly.
Sometimes you have, let me use mothers, for example. A lot of women who haven't lived the life that they felt they should live or feel that they had given up certain things to be mothers or wives, when they start having their children, those things that they imagined they could be, those things that they
Mm,
imagined they were denied, they begin to
mm,
live up through their children. And all of a sudden, this child that you want to give all the love, all the everything, is telling you, "Mommy, I'm ready to go." And of
exactly.
course, for some women, especially when you don't have, you know, that life that you want, you begin to question yourself. What was my identity? So
Mm,
the common
mm,
question a lot of people are asked these days are, without your label as wife, mother,
true.
colleague, staff,
Mm,
businesswoman, who
mm,
are you? And so
mm.
if as an individual you haven't found your own identity, and then you now give birth to this our Gen Z, Gen Alpha,
Then alpha.
they already know, I know who I am, I know my rights,
Yes.
I know my right. And then
Yes.
internet telling them everything they want to know.
Everything.
So they think they
Exactly.
can just wake up and do, and they're ready to do. And
Mm.
you're like, So I'll give you a
Exactly.
story. This is a story that most people didn't know. I went to university. My husband and I started dating while I was in youth service. I had finished camp, and then so long story, he saw me in church before I went for youth service. Then he started asking around. Before I knew what was happening, I'd gone for service in Enugu. He contacted me, we got talking, and then the few times I visited Lagos, we started dating. Long and short, this young lady that went for camp came back with husband to be, complete with ring on her hand.
Mm-hmm.
I'm my mother's first child.
Mm.
So I come back and I'm a coconut head. I'm a reformed coconut head. So I came back and I was like, I'm wearing ring on my hand. So the woman has to see it. She cannot say she does. But my mother has eagle eyes. So there's no way she will say she didn't see it. My mother did as if she did not see this ring. Day one, day two, week
You didn't
one,
tell her anything.
I
You
didn't
didn't
tell
tell
her
her
anything. She did not acknowledge anything. And my father
anything.
has learned, whichever camp his wife is in, so shall he be. Full stop. So he too, I crossed. My dad, I came home with an engagement ring, and my mother was not having any of it. My sisters
Mm.
had congratulated me. My brothers had congratulated me. The young man had come to the house. For Christ's sake, they even took my parents' permission for the man to even toast me. They knew because
Mm.
he connected through my parents' best friend, my mother's best friend's husband. The man said, "This is like a daughter to me. I'm going to ask my wife, and know that once I ask my wife, she will ask her mother." My parents said I'm an adult. I know what is good for me. So you've said that. I've not come back with ring. You are in
I did.
denial.
You did not just care. You didn't ask what's
So
going on here.
I
Who
went
did this
back
to
to her
you?
best friend. I said, "Auntie, that one had congratulated me. She was so excited. Where is the wedding?" I said, it's your friend that's the issue now. She said, what's going on? I said, your friend has pretended like she cannot see me. She just started laughing. She said, Maureen. That's my brother's name. I said, see, our date is 30th of December. Until you know me, you better go tell your friend, though, it's either we are together or we are not. But we soon be getting married. She said, calm down, be calming down. Don't worry, I'll talk to her. Long and short, my auntie talked to her. Then one day, I was helping her do her hair. And she goes, so what is this thing you say you're wearing on your hand? I said, it's my engagement ring. I'm actually engaged to be married. She said, so why so you just decided to get married? I said, what was I supposed to do? So why was I confident? Because my auntie had given me feedback that she told her that this was not her plan. That she was thinking, I'll come home, I'll get a job, I'll work for some years before I now leave home. Then how is she going to cope without me? I told my auntie to remind her that there are 3 other children after me. So she should not worry. And so, long and short, that conversation was hard. She was like, okay, time to start doing things. She and my father, long and short, they tactically delayed everything. My husband and I planned to get married in December. We didn't get married until April. One story or the other. They expect you have to wait for this before they could bring lift, before they could do this. I said, don't worry. Sure, they will. I just told my auntie, I said, auntie, I will be patient until I will not be patient. You know.
The end point is that we are
so
going to
once
get
I told her to her friend, please just see people be coming down.
Yes.
So that's my mother's story of not letting me go. But in the end, she let me go and she gained 4 beautiful grandchildren before she passed on. So imagine.
Rest on, mama. Rest on, mama. Rest on.
Yeah, so Brenda, classic case.
Of not wanting to let go, honestly. For me, when I was to leave Lagos State to a university outside Lagos, I had to sneak and leave. Yes, because my mom, we are so close to each other. Like, So she kept on telling me, you leave Lagos now. How will I cope? You're the only girl. All those brainwashing thing. What to do? Resetting for me. I did not. I said, since you flag is refusing to give me admission, let me seek for admission out there. She said, okay, UI is close. You can be coming close. By the time I went far, I did not allow her know. I just told her that I want to go and do some very important things. No, see, when you talk about letting go, it's a big problem. It's the same thing that happens to parents allowing their children make decisions for themselves when it comes to career choice, when it comes to even the choice of whatever department it is that they want. It's a big
choice of a
deal.
choice, just allowing your children make choices. You know?
Very hard. You want to get married, you say no to this man, you say no to another man, you say no, that tribe, I don't want you to get married to that tribe. They will not bring one mist like that does not exist anymore. Say, that tribe, they are very wicked. Oops. When you now bring a pastor, say, pastor, I don't want to do. When you now, what exactly do you want? But some parents exactly do not know what they want.
Exactly.
Yeah. They just want their children to become what it is that they desire to become, that they missed at some point. Like, my mom wanted to be a nurse, and she was like, okay, I want you to be a doctor. Just push for a doctor. But when she saw that, when she saw that one was not working, she said, I actually wanted to be a nurse. And you're passionate about taking care of people and all of that. I push for it. I did nursing. In fact, I gained admission to UCH Ibadan nursing school. I did nursing exam from one to another just because mommy wants me to study nursing. Even till now that I did not finish nursing, she told me, you need to go back to that, your passion. You were passionate. That's my passion now. So honestly, see, Parents are so afraid to let their children go. And they are so soaked in what people have said when they let them go. Maybe there's one neighbor or one friend that at some point let their children go and there was something that happened. Probably that one got pregnant or there was an accident or they just keep replaying it in the child's mind. But when you are in the father's love and you are parenting in the father's love, you need to acknowledge that the father is the one that protects your children. Now, this is a parenting disadvantage. Parents are beginning to protect instead of them to parent. Now, shifting the responsibility of parenting to God and the responsibility of protecting, they now take it. You can't take the place of God.
You can't do it. You can't. And you see, now it doesn't brought God into the conversation, right? If God was, imagine if God did not let us go. Imagine if God decided to be very clingy, like we are clingy with our children. I listened to the sermon last weekend, and basically what he said was God loved us so much. The evidence of how much God loves us is giving us free will. That's, you think about it for a second. The creator of the entire everything, universe, everything, right? And he decides, you know what? After I don't create you, I will let you do what you want to do. I love you that much. That's, if you want to love me with your own choice. That's God. Then you, custodian of the human being, because they say you are parents. Mommy, I want to go to the other room to drink water. No, sit down. I'll bring the water for you. Daddy, I'm thinking of, no, don't think this way. You know, and so the thing is, as parents, letting go is not something you're going to do once your child turns 21. No. The muscle we need to train is a skill we need to groom. And I love what Brenda said in the chat. That's exactly what I do with my children. I tell my children to practice decision making. Oh, it's time to go to church. I get my 4-year-old, I bring 2 shirts. I know the kind of look I want. I will now bring 2 shirts in different colors. Maybe they are polo neck shirts. And I'll bring 2 trousers, maybe 1 jeans and 1 plain one. I know that any combination this child picks, we're all right. And I go, pick one. And he picked. And he has that confidence that I picked what I was going to wear. And that's at maybe 12, 3, 5, whatever age. You know, you monitor your children. And that confidence will spur them to be more confident to make a few more decisions. Because believe me, this thing about not letting go, we don't understand how bad it is until you meet full-grown adults who cannot make one decision, one complete decision on their own.
Exactly.
That's true. Working subconsciously. You are thinking, oh, this person is just doing anyhow. This person is just not agile. And
baby adults.
Waiting for that baby adults. They are waiting for that little voice in their ear to say, do this, don't do this. So, parents, if you don't take anything from this session, understand that you're not letting go is harming and hurting 2 people, yourself and the child.
Exactly.
It's it's crazy micromanaging them into adulthood. I know adults who, when their children get married, they get them houses near their place, they take over paying grandchildren's school fees. And I'm like, at what point will you let this older person become an adult?
Trauma mama is saying not allowing them exercise their executive functioning skills, which is very, very important for them to thrive in life. Those are the skills that your child needs to thrive in life. But see, every day I allow my children make their decisions. Like before I go back to say, yes, I put a call through. Are you back from school? What's happening? That one said I'm doing my homework. I'm making research on the topic they asked us to make research on. And I'm like, okay. And the other one said, Mom, I'm in the kitchen. I want to make jollof rice. They are 9. between and 9. I want to make jollof rice. Really? Well, you took rice to school today. Say yes, but I feel like taking rice. And I asked my sisters, and they said they feel like taking rice too. I said, okay, what? How many are you? I said, no, that portion is too much. Reduce it, okay, so that you can, And they made it. I came back. I made food on the table. Now I managed the school,
Super
and so
mama.
Oh, please. So I manage a school. So I relate to parents every day of my
Mm,
life.
mm.
A lot of parents are not there yet at all. They are not ready.
They are not
They are not.
even ready to be there. They can't even have the conversation.
You don't prepare your child for the future. Then you want your child to become great in the future. How does that happen?
Like,
A child you don't prepare for tomorrow, and you are hoping to have a better tomorrow, a good tomorrow. How do you manipulate that? It doesn't
mm,
work that way.
yeah,
There was this
exactly.
child we had for after school. That child was 4 years plus. 4 years gone. He can't unbutton his shirt.
I know. They are meant
So
to. You tell me you want
and
your child to school abroad. Of course, they're going to school abroad. And then they're in secondary school. You are still picking up their clothes, helping them put it in the washing machine. And I'm like, really? This is how we're going to go to how many thousands of miles away? Okay, that's
how
it.
long do you have to do that? You stress yourself as the parent. Those are the kind of parents that will tell you, parenting is so much stress. Oh, these children, hey, they want to kill me.
How
Hey,
like
these
this
children.
for them?
Do you
Who
know?
send you?
Exactly. I usually these children they bring as house girls, housemaids, and what have you. They come from a very let me just say low background kind of. And I expect normally that such parents would have taught their children because I mean there's nothing, is anything you see you eat, you just
Mm,
manage life and all of that.
mm,
I expect that such parents will be able to like be down to earth with their children, teach them some life skills, teach them how to bend down, look down. People will
real.
say Doranyala, like
Yes, so
do you understand me? But you see those children, they just come, huh? They don't know how to sweep. They don't know how to. When you start correcting them or teaching them all these skills, they feel like
they are
it's out
punished.
of place. They're punishing them. Why? Because there's no foundation that was laid for that. So when we go all out, trying to have our children all out to ourselves, oh no. You see some baby adults in a man, married man. Any decision you want to make, let me call my mom. Let me call my mom. Hello,
Ah,
mommy. What are you saying? Oh Lord, oh Lord, what? So
the
it
society
starts from
we have today, I think is, I like that word you use, baby adult. The society we have today is because it's made up of a lot of baby adults. So you have people who are adult side, but emotionally, mentally, they're still babies. They still throw tantrum.
true.
They still, my nephew is about 25. He just moved to the UK. He's doing his master's, he's working, and he was talking about one of his colleagues. One of his colleagues was supposed to go they sent him on training. And whatever he was doing, he got to the class 15 minutes late. Guess what happened? The training people said, you can't enter. I told my nephew, I said, read the conditions of that book. I know Igbo people, they will have written it somewhere that once you are so minutes late, you can't enter. So the young man comes back to the office, explains to the people, of course, those ones were already notified. They told him, don't be angry. The £1,000 that we paid for your training, we will collect it from your salary this month. But graduates, full grown graduates started throwing tantrum. What's this? They're not fair. They're discriminating. And my nephew was describing it. He said he just started shouting. I said, use the correct word. He started throwing a tantrum because he's still a child at heart. He said,
Exactly.
auntie. I said, okay, let me ask you a question. If you didn't give a 2-year-old something they wanted, what would they say? He didn't repeat the word because he knew he was about to repeat the exact same words his friend said. It's not fair. Why? this. And I said, exactly. I know you don't want to say it because you know I'm right. He said, it's true. I said, see, the problem we have in the world today is that we have a lot of baby in adult bodies.
True.
And that's because the parents, and again, and I'm not here to blame parents, holistically. No. I also know that parents who find it difficult to let go are dealing with their own traumas. It's either they didn't
Exactly.
have them fly, or it's
True.
either they have some experience that has made them vow that these children, everything I have, I will do through them, or they just are not equipped. And
True.
that's what this group, our godly parenting group, this parenting, that's part of the thing. We find that when we put parents in community and we start to have real conversations, many parents don't even realize they are not equipped. When you
True.
start to say
Knowledge.
certain things, we now begin
Knowledge.
to say, oh,
And
wow.
the right knowledge. It's not just knowledge anyway. The right
Yeah,
knowledge.
yeah,
We have lots
knowledge.
of wrong knowledge flying out there. It has to be the right knowledge in the right circle, in the right place, in the right parenting academy. The godly parenting academy is there for you. It's a place to learn how to parent right. And another thing is that parents also need to grow. They need to grow.
Yes.
They need to grow. When you get knowledge, you grow with it. You grow with that knowledge. Now, I discover something about knowledge is when they ask you, why are you here? You hear the word, I'm here to learn, to unlearn and relearn. You find out that that same person at the end of that training or session does not learn anything. Why? We find it difficult to unlearn. So see, you unlearn that you can have space to relearn.
But can I say that to unlearn, you need the grace of God? Because
Exactly.
the first thing is you really need to know that you have things to unlearn. Then when you
Clearly.
even know, you have the humility to actually bend down low and unlearn, and then now come and start learning. And that's why you need God.
Exactly.
Because without God, our natural human pride will not
To
even
fail. Yeah.
admit it to ourselves that we still have certain things to take out of our system. Before you now agree that you even have some things to put in. And why is it important for us to keep learning and unlearning and relearning? Let me read again. We need to be in control and proactive. Read, learn, discuss, and pray about the stage your child is at and the next one. And the next one. Set your boundaries ahead. So it's not when your child is it's time for your child to use device. Then when they use it till 12 noon, 12 midnight, you carry the device and say, it's too late for you to use. Before you even give them that device, they should know what to expect.
Yes. Yes. Set the boundaries. Set the boundaries.
The boundaries are set. As much as possible, have conversations explaining the whys to your children. Let your children learn to make more decisions and take more responsibility as they grow. Let go of the parental strings a little at a time as they grow. It not only prepares them for the future, it also prepares
you.
Because whether we like it or not, as our children are growing, we too have to prepare and accept that they are going to go out of your house. My children know. I tell them, as you enter uni, my prayer for you is that you will no longer need a room in my house. You can visit me, but it will no longer be your home. Keep going. As you get all that learning, all those experiences, I give you permission to fly like an eagle. My day is to come and visit you in your own house and balance and you will feed me. That's my goal. And I keep telling them that and telling myself that so that I remind myself that don't get it twisted. You are close to these children, you love their company, but tell yourself, oh, my daughter is year 11, she has 2 more years into university. That means I have 2 more years to take her full attention to myself. After which, I have to start what? letting go. But the letting go didn't start now. It shouldn't even start then. It started before. Mentally.
Prepare them.
Mentally.
Prepare them.
Prepare them. Prepare. I think the biggest preparation is us. Children,
Us,
whether we
yes.
prepare them or not, they're ready to move. Now we the problem.
You know, I remember you shared the story about your son that was in a camp. He had to go
Yeah.
to a camp, right? That was his first time of going to
Yes.
camp.
Exactly.
Interesting.
And
Interesting, honestly.
he traveled. So this is the thing. He's 10. He was amongst the youngest. There were only 5 of them that were in primary 5 out of a group of 22. And they went to the United Kingdom. I didn't want to just post location and things like that. They actually went to the United Kingdom. So my 10-year-old left my house. He packed his box and he flew plane. I went to another man's country at the age of 10. And heaven did not fall.
At all.
They gave us all the protocol. They gave us details to
out there.
Now, I should not tell that kind of young man tomorrow that he cannot what?
We cannot. All this I cannot. All this I cannot, that is not helping us. That is limiting our children. See, one of the things about not letting go is that we limit them. We program something else into their system. We give them a picture of what the world is, another picture of what the world is, the future and all of that. You know,
we have a picture of how we view the world, our own lenses. And you know, everybody's view of the world is different. The world is like an elephant. You know, that's the story of 10 blind men and an elephant.
Yeah.
Snake. Another person touched the trunk. He says like it's a huge tunnel. Another person touched the body. He says it's like a big wall.
Perspective. Everybody had different
perspective. You understand? Different perspective. And the thing is, even your children will have a different perspective of the world. And it's still correct. Because will you say that the people that said the tail was like a snake are wrong? No. The people that said the trunk are like a tunnel, wrong? No. The people that said the body is like a wall, wrong? No. The ones that said the leg is like a tree, they are not wrong. They're just seeing different parts of the same picture. And that's the way the world is. Different parts of the same picture. And as a parent, you see, let me tell you how very subtle this not letting go can be. So I grew up hearing a lot of stories about people who travel abroad and all the things they got into. Some of them were even my relations. And so somewhere at the back of my mind, I didn't realize it. I had that thing of when you travel abroad when you're young, you will behave, especially if your parents are not there. So all through, even when I got married, I told my husband, these children will not study abroad. Me, I don't agree. Just keep quiet. Say when the time comes. I told myself, my children will not do their first degree abroad. They will do it here in Nigeria. And when it's time for masters, if you want to go to Alaska, it's all well and good. Why? Because I had the view and the mindset from the stories and the experiences I had from that when children go unsupervised at that age, they will misbehave. And it took one of my friends, Ayo. She woke up one day and I was telling her this, and she said, "People, let me ask you a question. If all the things you are doing with your children, all the opportunities you are giving them, the values, the intentionality with which you are raising them, do you think the best decision is to limit them to be in this country where you already know that the system is failing? I'm not saying you have to send them abroad. I'm just saying, do you think that's like the best thing?" And I just said, well, I don't know. That's not me. I've never what I've seen. But I couldn't let go of that thought anymore. Because it was like, you are finished dressing a beautiful doll. Now take the doll, you put it inside the cupboard that nobody should see it, because those that see dolls spoil them. And then I started praying about it. And then the first thing that happened was I now realized that it was a new thing. See, because that's why we need God in this particular area. We need Him in all areas of parenting. But you see, this letting go. There are so many things you don't even realize you need to let go of. And it starts from you. I realized it was a new thing. I realized I was looking at this thing only from things that I had seen. And I said, okay, let's be open-minded here. Let me get out of my children's way and start looking out for the people who have done it the right way. And then guess what? Because I was focusing on looking for people who had raised their children who had gone abroad and they were doing great things and they were respectful. It was as if I just turned on switch and I started seeing them everywhere. And I realized it's all about what you focus on.
Exactly.
It's all about what you focus on. So as parents, we focus, like if you come to Godly Parenting WhatsApp group, time and time again, we always put it there. We don't want fear mongering. And if you feel something is so important that you must post, balance the bad vibes by putting good vibes. What do we mean? If it's a bad video, pray. Add a prayer to it. If it's something that is a cautionary tale, give us advice. But don't just come and carry bad fear-mongering stories and dump in our minds. We have more than enough. If I don't watch any scary children's video for the rest of my life, I have more than enough. Sometimes once I see certain things, I strike because I don't want it. Because what you focus on
expounds.
What you focus on expands. That means that if you are focusing on that, if I leave these children to fly, I leave them to do those things, they will do it. Oh, I know, I had there was a mother in my child's primary school. Because of that woman, they had to put a law in that school. Because she will wake up, she will bring that child to school, she will not leave that school compound till the child closes.
Really?
Yeah. How many children do I have? What else am I doing in this life? I'm here.
Wow.
You know? So, and it was fear.
True.
So, parents, do not be afraid.
Don't be afraid. You'll be all right. You'll be very all right. By the time they go, the thing is putting in the work first, preparing them for what it is that they are going to face. Very important. And remembering also that we are co-creators with God and that we are raising saviors. Now, when you realize that you're raising saviors, you just have a picture of like Jesus in your mind, just imagine that, you are parenting Jesus and at some point he has to go. At some point, he has to do the Father's work. At some point, he has to be with the disciple. At some point, he has to be in a secluded place, in an hidden place where nobody knows where it is. So, if you don't allow this Savior that it is that you are raising to stretch, to fly, there's no way that whatever it is that God has created that child to become or fulfill or whatever, there's no way they'll be able to. Even if they are either doing it boxed, they're either doing it in uncertainty, they're either doing it because maybe it's your choice for them as parents. So allowing our children make choices and decisions does not start from when they are at their teen age. It starts from when they are toddlers.
Yeah.
In the crèche, you see them, they want to play with toys. Allow them play with their choice toys. That's where it starts. Allowing your child to exactly. Allow your child to relate with other children. Allowing them to see the world out there. Take them out. Take them to the park, to the zoo, to a restaurant. Allowing them to make choice of what it is that they want to eat at that point, when you get to a restaurant or when you go for dinner and all of that. Those are part of it.
There's something.
So you don't just wait. You said
sorry. No, go ahead.
So those are part of it. Allowing them to make a decision of the choice of clothes, the shoes. Let them match it up. Watch them. And children play with colors. But we as adults, we can just focus on one color. We might just like, oh, my best color is red, and you go only for red. But children who want to play, yes, they want to play with. They have the best color. They will not tell you, I have the second best color. But they play with colors, allowing them to do their words as colorful as it is. That's what it means to let go. Don't restrain them. Don't box them. Don't just allow your traumas to have a hold in the life of your children. Don't restrict the savior that they are or the desireness in them. Don't restrict it by your own trauma. So parents particularly, we need to first heal from our own trauma. We need to have another picture of it, what it is and how it should be. Working on ourselves first is foundational to let our children go. Conquer your fears. Stop watching videos that energize your fears or fuel your fears. Stop listening to people that will sponsor your fear. Stop mingling or having circles of people. Stop watch see. I'm very intentional about who I listen to, who I follow, who it is. I know those I listen to virtually every day of my life. And I know why I do that. Because I want to program things into my system, into my mind, into my imagination, into my world. So, same thing happens to children. When you make them watch, movies that are weird and all of that, you are programming different things, depending on what.
And it's not even about explicit things, though. So, when my children were growing up, we had a rule in my house. Nobody was allowed to watch African Magic as long as my children were awake in that house. In fact, as long as they were in the house. When they go to school, watch your African Magic. The minute my children entered the house, no African Magic, no Cartoon Network. That the children knew the programs they were allowed to watch, the channels they were allowed to watch, and then in some channels, the programs. Why did I say no African Magic? It wasn't because I don't want my children to be African or no. You see, there are certain things there you watch in African Magic that children should not watch. And it's not about kissing or all those. No. The crass way people talk. They abuse people. They talk about, even when you see it, even if it doesn't have all the jazz they don't know. So why should I want my child to be watching jazz at an impressionable age? Why should they be focusing on jazz when they've got to focus on? Why should they be watching this man and house girl close to each other when there are other things to focus on? Why should they be watching You Are Mad, You Are Foolish? When there's a very polite, calm way to talk.
I tell you, there are things that children have never heard. Like they have never heard all those abusive words, all those foul languages and that. And sometimes when they go to school and they hear it and they come back and Mommy, somebody said this and that. What does that mean? That's you see this thing about explaining, having conversations, having to explain those things. I try to make them understand that the fact that your parents have a parenting style that they are taking you through or grooming you with does not mean every family has one.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying.
The knowledge your parents have about certain things about parenting is not accessible to some parents. So when you see a child like that, do that child a favor of correcting that impression, correcting that attitude, correcting those language, and telling them, instead of saying this, why not say that? Because most times these children will learn this thing from home. There's a child we have. We had one child one time ago, and this child can literally sing all the kinds of songs, all these whatever songs. He can sing everything. The lyrics, he has them offhand. But when it comes to book work, he struggles with it. Men looking at the child, I can just tell what happens at home. The kind of foul language that comes from his mouth. See a child telling a fellow child, I'm going to kill you, I'm going to box you, I'm going to do this, and all of that. What? And this child was age 5. At 5 years, he has been programmed for.
Yeah, and it's a form of not letting go. Because you want your children to fly, you will consciously program them to fly. You will consciously program them to be better than you. And when we say better, you see, what the definition of better is always a problem with a lot of parents. Some parents feel that my children being better than me is me giving them all the things that I do not have.
Yes.
But the question is, those things that you didn't have as a child, did they not help you become stronger, more resilient person? Those things you didn't have as a child. Me, I always have one simple question. Will they matter in heaven? Will they matter in 5 or 10 years' time? If not, you'll be all right. So I will provide you what I think I can provide you comfortable. That is towards. So when I provide my children certain kinds of clothes, for me, it's not that I'm providing them clothes just for clothes sake. I'm teaching my children how to dress in a certain kind of environment. So, for example, I use going for mass, I'm Catholic, as a way to teach my children to dress up. Yes, because they are not going to have the opportunity to wear tucked-in shirts everywhere they go, especially in this era where joggers and t-shirts is the uniform of this generation. When you add socks and flights to the matter, case closed. So for me, for church, there are certain things that are no. More often than not, children will wear upper shirt. Even if you wear a t-shirt, it's still
learning to say no. Sorry to cut you.
Yeah.
Learning to say no to our children is what some parents find difficult to do. It's very hard. They feel that is the harsh love language. That is the harsh word for children. You must always give your children what they want. They feel when you give your children what they want, when they want it, how they want it, that's the definition of love.
Yeah.
That's not it.
That's not it.
Because it also works hand in hand in allowing your children to make mistakes. Making them understand mistakes is part of life.
Yes.
Do you understand me? Now, when you don't say no to your child, you will be that sort of overprotective parent, because at the same time you wouldn't want your child to make mistakes.
You feel that letting your child do what they want, right, is your form of love language. And your form of showing them how much you love them. You love them so much, which is a system of not letting go. Not that when loving your child means that you don't, or rather, not that letting go means that you don't love your child, but everything in excess is bad. When you love your child to the point that they can do anything, that you tell them when they say they want this, you let them have it. First of all, the child does not have resilience. The child does not know. Even God tells us meaning. God tells us wait. So this God tells us no and wait. When God now tells that child no and wait, there will be a problem. Because you don't say no or you don't say wait, does not mean that God will not say no. Does not mean that society will not say no.
Sure.
You know? Because society is not an easy thing. They will meet all sorts of experiences, they will meet all sorts of people. And the fact is that if we don't let them mature gradually. Like you said, I like something you said before. Let them interact with different kinds of people. Of course, you will keep it safe. You will not say because you are letting your children interact with different kinds of people, let them interact with maybe young people that are smoking. No.
You had already taught them friendship skills. So in interaction, they already know the boundaries, they know the kind of friends, they know who should be their friend, they know when you should call someone your friend, they know who is just a classmate, they know who is just a neighbor and all of that. Very important.
Let's not start that topic because Nigerians, we don't understand the meaning of the word friend.
Everybody is your friend.
95% of the people call your friends are not your friends. And I'm not here to call friends. They are not your friends.
By the time you find that an individual, they take it very personal.
Yes.
Like, I had problems when I was in uni because I was very blunt. I told myself I have it's a 5 years course, so I came here to study for 5 years. I didn't come here to make just anyhow friends. My friends were few. If I can shock you, my friends were not up to 5 years. Yes, yes, and it was a
I had so my friends in school, were not actually up to 5, but people used to think I used to talk to. As in, I talk to everybody. It's easy for me to start talking to people,
yes, I do.
and I can talk with you for 10 hours, right? And it doesn't mean you're my friend. I'm a friendly person, but the people that
I usually define it. I'll say you're not my friend. You're my classmates. I was so blunt because I was in an environment where when you don't define the friendship, you don't define who is who, you're going to have problems. Yes. So I just put it straight. Oh, Amaka, my friend. I said, no, we are not friends. We are classmates. If we are in the same department, my departmental mates. So we are not friends. No, it's true because everybody just come, my friend, my friend, my friend. Who is your friend? Who is your friend?
And if you don't equip your children with those skills, and they are quick to let go, then they go and say, my friend, my friend, my friend. They get into trouble.
And get in trouble eventually. That's it.
So parents, you owe your children that responsibility to equip them for when you are not there. That's the primary assignment.
True.
You need to see all the things you are saying here. Your number one assignment is to equip your children for when you are not there. Physically, spiritually, mentally, and emotionally.
Very important.
The four of them.
You know this thing about equipping your children. I'm preparing them for these 5 areas that you mentioned. That's what leads children into relationships that they are not supposed to get into.
Yep.
Yeah. Parents are not creating time to bond, to communicate, to explain, to have conversations, to build family values and systems and all of that. They don't have to. They just send someone that is giving them that attention. They can't hold, they can't talk, there are no boundaries. You have not taught them, you have not prepared them. So what is there?
And then now your parents putting your child and their affiliates. Because whatever you are telling them, and course you're telling them their own. So now that used to say, okay, we'll now be saying, but
my friend, I
think exactly. I think. But didn't say. But the trend is that I don't know. Their affiliates are not in our time. Affiliates, most of them you know them.
You know them. Yes.
Now, your children don't know their affiliates. Why? Because it's a group online.
Yes.
It's a group online, and they also know one person in that group, but they are influencing your children. And meanwhile, you are holding on to this child. Meanwhile, this child have let go in the digital world. It's your body that suits you. Their mind, their attention. You say, okay, because I want to take care of my child, I want to keep my child happy, you carry device. You don't have conversation, you do not do anything. Oh, I want to they are staying with me in the house.
You know them.
They are not going to be in boarding house, but you are giving them university. You are giving them world house in their hands. Okay, well done. No, and they have to study this course because this is what was making it now, or this is what. Okay, no problem. Then your child will go to school. Before you know what's happening, you are hearing, I'm depressed. Yeah, a lot of children these days are going through real and imagined depression. Because the problem is a lot of children hear the word depressed. Then you see someone doing TikTok. They are depressed when they are sad. not doing this, doing that, doing that. The child will just take note of all this. So the day they are bored, they say, I'm what? Depressed. The day they are sad, they say, I'm what? Depressed. By the time you say you are depressed today, tomorrow, the devil will say, oh, you want to be depressed? I give you depression. That's where one now starts. Speaking about a boy that killed himself. Why? Because he was expelled. He was 15 years old in secondary school. Parents, you do not, I repeat, not want to know the kinds of things people like us hear and see regularly with children in secondary school. You need to equip your children. You cannot be with them all the time. You need to raise them to be able to cope when you are not there. And that when you are not there, you go to primary school, you are not there. The best compliment I heard about my son was that one of my friends, because she accompanied them, but the school had a policy, so they could only just be by the side, they couldn't really interact. But he said, you raised your son very well. That even when they were in the halls, they didn't have water, your son was the first to volunteer. And it was surprising that he had water because I said, I'm not surprised because I've trained them anywhere they go, they should always fill their bottles. So I wasn't surprised. She said, oh, that he was, they sent me a picture of when they were coming back, who was in the prayer, Thanksgiving prayer. It was my son. I said, God, you just wanted to show me that we are doing some things right, small. The thing is this, if you are not conscious of the fact that you will not always be there, you will not raise them as if you are not there.
Sure.
Let me repeat myself. If you are not conscious of the fact that you will not always be there, you will not intentionally raise them as if you are not there. Parents, we feel we are the alpha and omega of our children's life. But the truth of the matter is, we are just their shepherds.
Exactly.
I've seen how shepherd used to do. We just carry his stick and be walking, his sheep will be roaming around and around. When it's time to go home in the night, we just bang the sheep, if we bang the pole, the sheep will start moving because he has trained them. Shepherd is not going to go to the sheep and say, eat this grass, or put your legs here in this corner. No, he will put them in a safe place. Maybe it's a lawn or a contained space. He will keep them there. Then he will just sit down and just be watching. What is he there for? Oh, maybe a fox tries to come, he will chase the fox away. Oh, the gate open, he will close the gate. That's your job as parents. That's the protective thing. Give them a safe space and just let them be. Just let your children be. Then drink water for.
Parental change is placing a lot of limitations on children.
Yeah.
Just imagine a syringe that has the length is not just like this. When you put it and stretch, you can just put a little water. That's what happens when we allow our parental string to limit our children. It makes them, they can't stretch beyond that string. They can't stretch beyond boundaries. So you begin to, at some point, when they now mingle with other children, probably they go to the uni or go to boarding house or go to church or go to mosque, whatever it is, wherever it is that they go to, they just feel like they're not part of the world. They feel different. Their confidence is strange. They don't have this boldness to face their world. Now, and again, when you are raising, and there's some parents that their children are genius. They are genius. And when you are such a parent that you don't allow your children, you don't let your children go, and you are raising a genius, just imagine what happened. Look at Tunde Okoya, the Chelsea Guinness World Record. Look at what happened. The father made a statement. He said when he was young, he liked playing chess. And he will pack everything and say, this is not what I asked you to do. I asked you to go to school, go and learn. And at some point, they had to let him go. This is his passion. I remember when I had to start letting my children walk through themselves. Go buy something in the market. They'll make a list. I'll just tell them what it is that they need to buy. Go there and go buy them. At first, when I was allowed them to go to school themselves, it's an estate. Not like it's unsafe and all, but allowing them go. Walking to school is not 10 minutes, but allowing them to go was like, I looked at myself, no, there's something about not allowing these children to go themselves. I need to break it. At first, I walked to one point, I walked behind them, I walked to one point while they're in front, I'm like, okay, let me check. I hope there's no car. They're not walking close to the car. So on the road. At some point, I said, how long will I do this? Please let them go. First, before letting them go, you have to equip them in knowledge and skills. So I did not just send them to that point. So I think that's where some parents get it wrong and say, no, that child that was going to school and he was walked down by a car. Equip them with safety skills.
Yeah.
Every area of life comes with skills. So if it's about walking down the road, going to the market to get some groceries or going to the supermarket or thereabouts, equip them with safety skills. Knowing who a stranger is and who is not a stranger. Knowing what to do when the stranger talks to them. Knowing what to do when do you understand? There's a point that my daughter was like, Mommy, do you know we met a stranger on the road and the stranger was saying we should help them pick something on the floor. I've equipped them with that knowledge. They can never pick it. I told them either you run or you say no or you don't just respond to the stranger. So those are skills.
So you're ahead. You're always ahead. You're anticipating and you're guiding. See, and that's work. Parenting is not just about, working hard to bring money to pay for children or in the best way. Parenting is not about just working hard to give them food to eat. Definitely. Parenting is about those skills, those intentional skills, right? And we do not put those skills in our children, lay the foundation of those skills, then we've missed the mark. We've missed the mark. And I think at this point, we need to wrap up. We have been here. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been such a fun time talking with you. And I can tell that this topic, really engaged. I see that our audience were quite engaged. I will give room for just one or two questions so that we can wrap up. If anyone has questions, the first two questions we get, we will respond to them. And while we're waiting for those questions, let me give AMAKA-VIRTUE NATHANIEL, a very brave, very eloquent, very capable mom, the opportunity to just say the last few words and then we'll wrap up for the day.
Okay, so my few words will be, parents, equip yourself with the right knowledge. Get into a parenting academy. Is it this thing that we are saying? We are saying it because we are coming from somewhere. We are not just saying them because they are cheap. Like the government parenting academy now, you can see that our able mommy is doing so much there. Yes, and from all her testimony about her family, her children, and all of that, you could tell that she has built herself over time. Now, when you want to let your child go, you need to get the right knowledge, equip yourself. You need to heal from trauma. You need to trust God to help you in the process of parenting. Because parenting is all about you as a parent. It is not, if you don't know how to work on yourself as a parent, emotionally balance yourself, emotionally be able to manage things, when they get off hand and all of that. In parenting, we see a lot of things. We'll see a lot of things at every point of your child's life. You will experience different things. So you need to be ready and prepared for that before it happens. So you as a parent, don't lose it all out, and again, don't let your children go until you are able to equip them that they need to thrive in their world. It's very crucial.
Love that. So the first thing is educate yourself with the right knowledge, because you can't give what you don't have. You want to let your children start by educating yourself. And part of educating yourself is healing from those fears and those traumas that will prevent you from letting your children go. And then Now equip the children. So start with yourself, then next to the children. You equip the children with skills, psychological skills, emotional skills, physical skills, spiritual skills, and
Very important.
mental skills. And most parents equip their children only intentionally with mental skills because they just send them to school. They forget
School.
all the others. Parents, you have those 5 areas you need to equip them. You need to teach your children how to manage their emotions. You need to teach their children how to stay significant. You need to teach your children how to assess situations and adapt. Those are things you will never learn in any school because it's a
Yeah.
parent's job. It's a parent's job. And until you have equipped them, can you now say, fly? So you see, the thing is, letting go is a very intentional act. You cannot
Very,
say,
very.
okay, me, I don't hinder my children, I let them do what they want, and you have not equipped them. You are not letting go. You are, I don't even know, you are breaking themselves, you are not letting go. Letting go is, I know that I need this child to be able to do this, when I'm not there. Always ask yourself, when I'm not there,
Not
I know
there.
I need this child to do this, that. Have I prepared them for it? No. Then begin to curate the experiences. Because sometimes it might not be what you say that will teach the child. It might be that they go through an experience and you capitalize on that and you make it a learning moment. But if you are not
Exactly.
present, they are not conscious of the need to impact that knowledge. Even when the experiences come, you will not see the value.
You miss it.
Yeah. And so we don't have any more questions here. We don't have questions from our groups who have stayed with us. Orchestrate Pifunwa Foundation. Thank you so much for being with us till this point. Conscious Parenting, we thank you for joining us. You can, we will be posting the replay link shortly, so you can catch the replay from the beginning. If you want to keep learning, taking more notes, or you just want to watch it from the start to finish without interruptions. Thank you, everyone. Before I go, I'm just going to remind everyone that we have our Godly Parenting Summit going on as we speak. It happens every Saturday by 4 p.m. West African time on YouTube, right? And we've done the first week. If you go to YouTube right now, you can catch the replay till Friday, 10th of May. So you only have replays for about 2 weeks. If you want to register to be a part of it, if you click the link at the top of Godly Parenting, you will see the link that will allow you to register. You will see the link that will allow you to know more about it. You will see the link that would also allow you to upgrade to VIP, where you get to interact one-on-one with our coaches in a closed WhatsApp group. We have tried everything we can to support you in every dimension you need. The summit is free of charge, completely free. VIP, if you choose to, is 20,000. Simply because we need to be able to ensure that this summit, we can continue doing it year in, year out, forever free of charge. Grip by Grace, you are our MVP parent. You are here from the very beginning and you're here till the very end. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Good night, everyone. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you so much. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.